Morning from the Oklahoman's Video Studio. I'm Dave Morris, joined as always on Monday morning by Mike Knopp, Executive Director of the Oklahoma City Boathouse Foundation. And good morning.
Good morning.
How was your weekend?
It was great. We had a spectacular event, I think, on Saturday. People had a great time. We had a great crowd, and these weekends are always a little tiring, but it was great. So,
well, we certainly appreciate you showing up here, and I know it's a tough turnaround. You guys put so much effort and work into a weekend event, which is a big showcase time for you, and then to come into the studio. So thank you for that.
Thanks for having me.
The Stars and Stripes River Festival was this past Saturday, which featured rafting and rowing and then fireworks, and you had a large crowd.
We had a huge crowd. It really built throughout the day, and it's about as many people as I've ever seen down there. It's the venue's so spread out now, from all the way from the Chesapeake Boathouse to Riversport Rapids, and people had a great time. I mean, there was something really for everyone, and of course, we started the day with the Riversport Challenge, where people actually got into the Riversport Rapids, not in whitewater, but paddled in flat water, and then they jumped out and did a 5K run afterwards, and then we went right from that into the corporate rafting competition, which you're
looking at some of the footage right there, and those guys had a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. A lot different than our corporate rowing league. I mean, you've got a lot of different technique to, I think there's a bailout portion.
I was about to say, is this technique? But still, they had a lot of fun. And you mentioned the footprint of the Boathouse District there. And it really lends itself well when you have a festival event and fireworks, that there's a lot of area that people can.
There is. I mean, I realized how big it was on Saturday going back and forth from one end to the other. But, because on the other end we had rowing races all day, most of the day, and then dragon boat racing, and our corporate rowing league in the evening. And so really we used every part of the Boathouse District, which is really cool. And of course all of the adventures were very busy. We set up a new beach area this weekend it was complete, a giant slide that'll be open the rest of the summer, and other beach activities. And so it was a fun weekend.
And capped it with the usual massive fireworks display on Saturday night late.
We like our fireworks down there, and I think shooting them off over the river, it's really a great spot to watch fireworks.
Now this weekend, upcoming weekend, is July 4th, and of course there'll be fireworks down in the Bricktown area. A little bit of a different location.
Yes, it's different this year, and it really is great to be in Bricktown or the Boathouse District to watch the fireworks. Of course, we're going to have all of our activities and zip line and whitewater going on all day on the 4th of July. And if you want to watch from the Boathouse District, they're shooting the fireworks off from the Land Run Monument, which is just adjacent to the Boathouse District. And they're going to be timed in conjunction with the fireworks from the Dodgers game too. So it should be a really fun display to watch, and we love working with Bricktown and having people, now that you can go back and forth between Bricktown and the Boathouse District, and spend time in Bricktown, spend time having some fun at the river, and then watch some great fireworks.
Yeah, you can get from Bricktown to the Boathouse District via that, or near that Land Run Monument.
Yes.
Right off the canal.
Yep, that's right. There's a big tunnel that you can go through. It's a great walk, really beautiful. So.
Should be a good view with downtown behind it and the fireworks. All right, so that's coming up July 4th on Monday. Looking ahead, you have camps coming up in July.
Yes, we have a lot of camps going on, from rowing camps. So if you're looking for something new for your kids to get involved in, we have a variety of options. And the rowing, beginning novice rowing, is starting this month, and so you can kind of bring your kids out for that. It's a really great program. Of course, our rowing program has grown so much at the youth level, and they're competing nationally. You've had kids getting college scholarships every year, and so there's a tremendous opportunity there. We also have our adventure camps, which is exactly how it sounds. These kids have a blast doing all the different activities in the Boathouse District, and learning from them. I mean, they're doing everything from rock climbing to getting on the whitewater to flat water kayaking and the ropes course, and so it really is an adventure. A great way to get your kids active. And then new this year is sailing. We have our sailing camps going on at Lake Hefner.
Great.
Again, beginning at it's really no experience required at age 8, and we actually have adult classes as well for both sailing and rowing, but a lot of variety there, and it just gives I think parents a chance to kind of introduce their kids to new things and see what they're interested in, and if they end up liking it and taking to it, then we have a program after the camp so they can get involved at that point. So.
More information about those camps can be found on their website at riversportokc.org. Getting back to the Riversport Rapids area, one thing we could touch on there, you have a surf zone.
Yeah, we call it the Cox Surf Zone, and it is in our bottom wave area. We have the highest volume freestyle channel in the world, so we have these 2 channels kind of emptying into this final channel, and there's a really great spot that is a surf wave that was developed, and what we do is at 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock, you get to go in there, and we also have tubing going on at this time. But if you go up to the surf zone, we have some of our guides that will help you jump in this wave with like a boogie board. It's like a modified boogie board with handles on it, and you jump in and you ride the wave. And it is just like if you've ever been to the ocean and tried to do like body surfing and bodyboarding, that's exactly what it's like. And it's very accessible. It's not really hard to do. You jump in and it's a blast. And if you fall out, no big deal. You just float around into the eddy and it takes you right back up again. So
you guys are finding multiple uses for this venue.
Lots of ways to get involved, and we put a lot of thought into that design to try to provide other options to get people on the water. And this surfing aspect, I think, is really, really, really fun, and it's spectator friendly too. It's a great place just to sit, hang out, and watch. Yeah.
Well, and your food court's right off that, so.
It is. Our big water grill is really doing well, and the food's great. We have a new outdoor patio or outdoor tables and umbrellas, and really great. What we say, we've always thought that a lot of the people that are coming into Riversport Rapids are there just to hang out, and that's what we're really trying to encourage. It's just a fun place to hang out, enjoy being outside next to whitewater rapids, and I think that more and more people are discovering that. So.
Mike, I'll get you out of here on this. I noticed on ESPN over the weekend a story about U.S. Olympic rowers, and of course the games are coming up in August, about how one company, Boathouse Sports, was going to provide different apparel. Whether the team uses it or not, it was one suit. It was antimicrobiotic or something to fight potential bacteria problems in the water. My question to you, though, what sort of technology do you see emerging in this sport, whether it's in the apparel that the athletes use or in the boats?
Sure. Well, like all the Olympic sports, there's constantly new things that are coming out, or companies are asking athletes to try, and trying to figure out appropriate uses of technology to improve boat speed in rowing, for example. And some things work really well. Some things athletes prefer not to use, and it comes down to what they're comfortable with. Some athletes get superstitious and don't want to try a new uniform right before the Olympics, but others find that it can be a great enhancement leading into their competition. I think there was a story I remember at the last games where a new uniform was used, and the athlete didn't perform as well as they had hoped, and they tried to blame the uniform, which so you want to be careful about that. But in rowing they do have there's things that you can put on the oars, for example, that measure the force of the blade going into the water. There's a lot of technology with regard to what the coxswain will utilize as of course they're implementing the race plan in the boat, but that shows boat speed and stroke rate, which we've had for a long time. But if a lot of people don't realize what's going on in that coxswain seat, that they have a microphone and they're communicating with the rowers throughout the boat, and they want to be able to provide good feedback to the rowers. So they have information with regard to boat speed that has been around for a while, but it continues to be enhanced due to the tracking technology that's out there. There's certain things that you can't use in a world-class competition, but there's certain things that are very helpful for training and leading up to it, like a lot of the new cameras. I mean, that so many people have now just at home, these action cameras, but the way that you can use those cameras to get video of things that were really difficult to get before. And so I think everyone's trying to learn how to best use all of this new technology that keeps coming out. So.
Cool. All right, the Rio Games begin August 5th, so we'll be tracking our rowing athletes throughout those games.
It's very exciting. They're gearing up and hoping to represent the U.S. and of course Oklahoma City too, really well. They're proud to be from Oklahoma City, which is really cool. So.
He's Mike Knopp, Executive Director of the Oklahoma City Boathouse Foundation. Those camps he mentioned and the other events, all of that can be found online at riversportokc.org. Mike, as always, thanks for stopping in.
Thank you, Dave.